Right here we have the CST Laser Trackball, which is a great ergonomic trackball that I happen to like a lot. But one of its problems is these lights inside can be pretty blinding, because what happens is this ball here ends up focusing it right into my eyes, and the position I keep it at next to my keyboard happens to be like that. As a temporary measure, I had sanded this down in order to frost it a bit, and also put some permanent marker on the LEDs inside, but that only does so much. And what I'd really like to do is get rid of these overpowered blue LEDs and replace them with these fun little color changing LEDs that I saw on Big Clive's channel a while ago. So modifying this, I actually have two of these. I already modified one of them with the color changing LEDs, and I figured I'd do a video showing the modification of the other one. So let's get started. First, unplug this. I have opened this up many times. This little thing is long. The little "do not open" sticker is, has been. It's not a "do not open" sticker. It's just an unplug before service. And I have to admit that I haven't always unplugged it before servicing it, but whatever. Anyway, this is very simple to take apart. You just have these 3 screws. It's actually designed to be hacked. I also have a model where they have these little extension plugs for adding foot switches and the like, which I've never actually used. It's a nice option to have should the need ever arise. I believe they just map to buttons 4 and 5, which is supported out of the box on the Mac. I think you need a special driver for Windows for that, though. Anyway, so the case open, we just have the nice acrylic ball. This is actually the same size as a billiard ball. One fun, easy mod you can do for these is just replace this with a cue ball, or an 8-ball or the like, if that's the sort of thing you're into. Then we simply remove this little ribbon cable, and then we need to remove the little guide wheels on the upper left and the right, and it's also helpful to remove that as well. So here is the USB plug on the trackball side. So the thing to keep in mind is that the 2 pins go on the bottom. This is not a keyed connector, so you want to be careful about that. You want to remember that the 3 pins go on top, 2 pins go on the bottom. So we just put that off to the side. And now, the other thing we have to do to remove the circuit board, well, actually there's 2 things. So we have to unscrew the, from my pliers. Factory install on these is really tight, but there's probably an easier way to do this with some specialized tool that I don't have. So we just loosen these up. Why can I not get this off? Okay, there's this little notch here that is not helping. If I take my cutters and put them in this little notch, that may work a little better. That does not work better. Okay. There we go. Just loosen it a little bit. We can get this one off by hand easily. Okay. So now we've got this off. Okay, so now these get out of the way. And then we need to remove these little things here. These are little retaining doohickeys. That's the technical term, of course. There we go. Sounds like my cat sees a bird. Fiona off to the side. Yep, she sees a bird, definitely. Okay. Anyway, now we can just squeeze these little things. Oops. And then squeeze these. Okay. Do skin on this side because there we go. And then the board just lifts right out. Take the opportunity to clean off all this cat hair that got inside. Let's see, I've got a little duster around here somewhere, but I can't find it. But whatever, that's good enough. Okay. So now we have the circuit board that we can work with. Now what I want to do, let's plug in the USB cord here. And then what I would like to do is determine the polarity of the LEDs. Now, in order for the LEDs to come on, we need this board plugged in because this is what activates them. Okay, so we have this top LED. And I've got my voltmeter set to voltage. Okay, so this side is the positive. So I'll just mark that with a red pen. That looks black. You can see on this one. Make sure you can see that. So it's also, oops, that's positive there on the top. And then that's also positive. I was lucky and you know, happened to get the polarity right each time. So, okay. So now we know which way to orient the LEDs when we solder them in. The fun part for now is desoldering them. So I don't have any specialized desoldering equipment. I just have the desoldering wick and a regular soldering iron. The AOUA 469 solder station, which I like for, I'm not a professional electrician though. Oh, I need to unplug this from the USB before I do something unfortunate. Okay. That could have been really bad. Okay. So let's see. So this solder that they used at CST seems to be pretty stubborn stuff. So I had a similar problem with the other one. So let's come on, get off there. Okay. So first, if we flow some more solder on, that'll help it to release. Then let's try this again. I know my desoldering technique is not even remotely professional. I would like to get one of those little vacuum desoldering things, or even one of the manual, like, suction ones, but I don't do enough electronics to really justify that so much. Okay, so we've cleaned that off a bit, and then one little trick is we can, because there isn't really a spot to get the screwdriver under. Okay, I am going to use my heat gun and see if I can make some headway with that. Nope. Okay, so I think what I want to do then... So I'm definitely not going to be saving these LEDs in a usable way. But let's see if I... Let me move my heat gun out of the way so I don't get it all tangled up here. Okay. Could have been smarter and used a desoldering tip on this. Okay, so we're just going to push this down until that gives us a little clearance here. Now I can fit this screwdriver underneath. Let me see. Do I have a smaller tip? Yeah. So let's use this small tip. Make sure yeah, okay. So now, well, it looks like that LED's leg is already broken. Hooray for that. So now what I can do is I can just push down on the LED while I heat up the solder. And I apologize for my American accent when I say solder instead of solder. I know people on YouTube care deeply about that. But, you know, accents are a thing. Okay. So I've gotten this first one off. And now let's just remove this leg. I'm putting the tip in there. So this LED is now destroyed. Okay. Now I want to clean out the solder holes, just because it makes the next bit a little easier. So to do that, I like to just put the tip against a piece of metal, or like some thin wire, and then I can just sort of floss it, like dental floss. It would be easier if I had some helping hands, but I don't. But now we can click this. And come on. There we go. So that made didn't actually help much. The through hole is still full of solder. But this will help a little bit when it comes to actually putting the LED in. Come on. You can do it. Or maybe not. There we go. Okay. That seems to be a lost cause. So I'll just try using some desoldering wick. And let's see. Just try to pull out as much as I can. I'll turn up the temperature on my soldering iron a bit. That sometimes helps. Okay, that doesn't seem to want to go at all. So what I'll do then is one of the LEDs. So these are fun little color changing LEDs. They have like a little built-in, they actually have 3 LEDs inside, and what they'll do is they just cycle between red, green, and blue. And so what I want to do is, this is the positive, the long leg goes to the positive, so they'll be on the left facing this way. So what I can do is I can heat up the leg, which lets it go through that hole. Then I can heat up the other leg. Actually, I can heat up both legs at a time. And then... Oop, come on. So I keep heating it up. I can then theoretically, and I have done this before on the other one. Okay, so what I can do is I can use my thumb to push against it while I heat up from the other side. There we go. It's starting to give. Let's see. Okay, so let's just put the tip through here. Oops. Without burning myself. Put the tip through here to heat up both legs at the same time. Oh, that's getting hot. How did I do this before? I didn't have this much trouble with the other one. Let's see. Let's do it like this. I am tempted to try just like drilling it out or something. That shouldn't be necessary. It's almost like that leg isn't in the hole, but it seems to be. I could probably just use my hot air gun to do this. I'm going to try the hot air gun. So, this might be a very bad idea, but let's try it anyway. Yeah, it's getting too hot for me to hold on to it. At the same time, go figure. Okay. Why am I having so much trouble with this one? Okay, now it's coming through. So one thing, there we go. So one thing with this one, there's actually not a lot of clearance between the LED and the ball. So with the old LEDs, it actually sits right up flush against the ball. So what we need to do is not have the LED go in quite all the way. So up to the little bumps on the legs is pretty good. I actually put it in closer on the other one. But what I'm gonna, just move this down a little teeny bit more. There we go. Okay, so that's good. So there's like 4 or 5 millimeters of clearance there. And what we can do is we can finish soldering the legs on. And then we can cut these off. And then let's clean up the solder joint a little bit. Oops. I did not want that to happen. It slipped a little bit, but that's okay. Alright. So now we can bend it back a little, and that should give it clearance, and it's got plenty of room to bend, so the ball will probably end up pushing it down further. Now we can do the other 2 LEDs. So the other 2 are same as the first one, just, you know, slow, annoying process of desoldering and removing and then resoldering. So I can keep on talking about that. I don't have any fun anecdotes to tell. You'll probably just want to fast forward to where I have it all put together, or maybe I'll just pause the video. Or cut this part out, because I don't have much to say. So yep, let's flow on some new solder. Then we can push the legs down. And then we can use the screwdriver trick. Put that in here. And just with a little gentle downward force. The iron across both, and there it comes out. Oh, this one actually is still usable. I did not destroy that one. That's nice. Okay. And so, again, get one of the new LEDs. I also have a bunch of static color ones. So I got this collection of LEDs, which come in a bunch of different voltages and brightnesses, but I decided I would like the color changing ones because a really cool thing about the color changing ones is they very quickly go out of sync, and so you get this really nice swirly effect. Also, since the ball itself is blue, The red and the green don't come through quite as much, and the blue's a bit dimmer than on these ones. So you get a slight tint, but it's still bluish. But at some point I'll probably find a transparent acrylic ball that's like uncolored. Okay, so again, so I don't need to actually floss out the holes because there's a nice little divot on this end, so we can go like this. Push it through. Okay. Now for the bit of fun part. Getting the shorter leg to actually come through. Which it does not want to do again. I should have probably made my life easier by making these legs shorter to begin with. Looks like my cats are having fun with something. Let's see if I can find something to stand this on. Nah. Basically, it just takes perseverance, or maybe there's some secret electrical engineer technique I don't know. Maybe if I flow a bit of solder on here, that'll give me better thermal contact. Yeah, that seems to have helped. A bit of solder on this side. That just loosens everything up. Okay, yeah, that helped a lot. There we go. I'll have to remember that for the other one. Okay. So now... Okay, that's getting pretty hot to the touch. So on my other one, I didn't do the side LEDs, I only did the top one, and I hope that this doesn't actually have a clearance problem with the button. Because I just noticed this is right by the button. Well, if it's a problem, I can always replace this side one with one of my smaller standard LEDs. Okay, come on, please go through. Both of you, all the way, please. The little leg bumps, there we go. Little leg bumps kind of get in the way, but there we go. So I got that through. So just a little bit of solder to seal the deal. Is that flush? Not quite. Let's get this flush. There we go. Then again, cut off the legs. And then this time more carefully, clean up the solder joints. Okay. Flow on a little more. Okay. 2 down, 1 to go. So at this point, this one's already raised up a little. It makes life even easier. So, turn the board this way. Insert the screwdriver under the LED capsule. And just alternate the iron. There we go. Comes right out. That one was real easy. And again, it's salvageable. Not sure what I would use it for, but I'm sure I can find something. And then again, okay, so again, the long leg goes on top. So these colored LEDs are fun. Like the color changing ones are a lot of fun. You do all sorts of stuff with them, and they're pretty cheap. I think it was like $5 for 100 on eBay or something. eBay is really good for getting electrical parts, which you probably know already, but it's a great resource. Way better than Amazon for this kind of stuff. Okay. So let's again rapidly alternate between two. Oh, there we go. That was real easy to do. And it's not even bound up on the solder this time. Oops. Shit. I pushed that too hard. Hopefully that's okay. That seems to be okay. I was just trying to force it through past the bump, which was a mistake. But this seems to be okay. Okay. Sorry about that. My microphone. Let's fix that. Okay. So I'll pull this all the way through. And finally, solder on these last two. And then let's just, again, push this through manually. Okay. That's it for the soldering. I'm also going to want to clean these joints up a little. of some of this excess. Now, flow an appropriate amount. And then reflow this one. Okay, that's looking good. So now let's electrically test it to make sure it's all working. See if I didn't foul something up. So let's plug this in here. Oops. Oop, that is still hot to the touch. Okay. Put this back into place. Plug in the USB. Okay, so they're all working. And we can watch the colors change, and again, the three go at slightly different rates, which actually gives it a really nice swirly effect. So now, I just want to do a really quick test fit with the ball, just to be sure, so we can put these back into the casing, get the, where did I put the rollers? Where, here's the scroll wheel, but that's not important for this test fit. Where did I put them? I am garbage at organizing my workspace. Oh, here they are. We're right next to it. Go figure. Anyway, so these are set up such that there's this little tab. These go downward. So these face down, and then these also face down. There's a lot of cat hair in here. Anyway, that should be enough to test the fit. And yeah, oh wait, actually, okay, so this top LED needs to bend back a little. There we go. So it fits good. And we can test the lighting through here. Okay. So let's finish reassembling. So let's see, we can put this in here. And I will just do these finger tight because there's no reason that they need to be as tight as from the factory. Get this out of the way. Let's get the ball out of here. Hey Werner, what's wrong? My cat is doing something. I'm not sure what. Anyway. Stuff this in here. Let's try not to cross thread this. That is not going on right. There we go. My cat, oops, dropped the little thing here. So, Werner is getting very old and senile, and he makes these weird noises now. He didn't used to do that, except when he was scared or distressed, like at the vet. Okay, anyway, let's clean these rubber wheels off a little. Just scrape it off. Okay. So, let's see, these ones just pop in. That seems to be adequate. Okay. Oh yeah, the buttons are fine. There's nothing to get in the way of the plungers here, so that was the thing I was slightly worried about. Anyway, getting this fit back together is always a little obnoxious. But that seems to have done it. Okay. So just get it back in here. Okay, so now it's all back together. And now it does not glow nearly as brightly, but we get this nice color changing effect. And then if we look to the side, it still looks really bright on the camera, but in person it's not nearly as bad. So yeah, this will no longer blind me when I'm using my computer. So yeah, that was a fun little mod.